What's up? What's up? What's up? Let me know if y'all can hear me good. There we go. That's better. What's up, y'all? How you feeling? Everybody good? Everybody good out there? I got a cool topic today for something I've been thinking about, and I think it's going to be helpful. I read the comments a lot of times, and sometimes the questions that you guys ask in the comments, they're so elaborate, and it's not like and the answer that you're looking for sometimes isn't the answer that I just want to give you. So today we're going to talk about some things that are just principles, you know what I'm saying, so that we can all stay on the right track and realize what it is that you're doing, what the whole point of this thing is, and and understand what's important versus what it is that you're chasing. Okay. All right. So the topic for today's video is focus on the progress. Oh, actually, hold on one second. Let me close my door. All right, bet. Topic for today's video, focus on the progress and not the end goal. I know a lot of times people say, focus on the process. The process is all this other stuff, and the process, going through it. The process is the hardest part. You know what I'm saying? I try not to focus on the process at all, to be quite honest with you. Processing something, like going through the motions of it, that is like the worst of anything. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I know how hard that is, when you're trying to reach your goals and you're trying to get in shape, because you get hindered. You know what I mean? Like, you want to get to your goal, you know what it is that you want to do, but it's like elusive. You know what I'm saying? It's so far out of reach that, it's kind of tough. So when you think about business, life, and fitness, they all have similar principles. Okay. It's hard work, dedication, attention to detail. But the difference is with fitness and your personal body, it's controllable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's controllable. You can control your own body. Like, that's something that you actually can be responsible for. You can, and that's the one thing that you should feel guilty about if you're not being responsible for it. You see what I'm saying? So that's the one thing about fitness, is that you actually can get in shape. And a lot of times there's not a good reason as to why you can't. It's almost like, okay, let's just figure out why I can't. And then once you identify the reason you can't, start chipping away at, in knocking those things out, and then applying the other principles, because they really can work. It's just about time at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's just about time. So keep that in mind. All right. So here's something to think about. We're all coming from different starting points. You know what I'm saying? So your goals do seem unrealistic. For somebody who's coming from, being heavy and they need to lose weight, your experience is going to be different from somebody who's small and is trying to put on size, or somebody who's, in between and is trying to put on size, or trying to build a certain shape or something like that. Everybody's going through their own thing. I don't think it's like one is harder than the other because, oh, I'm this way and I'm trying to reach this thing, and you're here and you're trying to come down. It's like, you know what I'm saying? We're all feeling the same way. We're all getting the same stress. We're all like, oh, am I eating enough? Am I not eating enough? Am I doing this? And I think the people who are smaller trying to put on size are probably more stressed out, you know what I'm saying, about the way their physique looks, because you're always looking in the mirror like, do I look bigger today? Do I look bigger today? Do I look bigger today? You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Even for somebody who's losing weight, I don't think your mind is as OCD about it as somebody who's really trying to put on size. Like, trying to put on size is a whole different ball game. Like, that's a whole different level of insecure. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. But we're all coming from different places, and the goals do sometimes seem unrealistic. And so because they seem unrealistic, we get caught up in the day-to-day stresses of, is it working or not? Am I making progress? Can I see any change? And so you have to remember one thing. First of all, you're never going to be satisfied. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're never going to be satisfied because you can't see what's happening with your body. Like I told y'all before, in the past, for me, when I was working out, I couldn't really tell if I was making progress or not. I was just, doing it, putting my head down and just getting the workout. But every once in a while, I would look up, take pictures. People would kind of, tell me what's up. But for me, I couldn't tell. I really could not see any change in my body. Even with pictures, I could compare, and you can't really see them until 6 months to a year later. You're like, oh shoot, I did look different from here to here. But a lot of times though, you can't see it because you're living in it. You know what I'm saying? So when you're trying to really make progress and you're looking at yourself and everything, it's kind of tough. So you got to be careful with that, because that is still slow you off too. You know what I'm saying? So for somebody who's bigger and trying to lose the weight, I want to remind you, you didn't gain that weight overnight. Therefore, it shouldn't take you overnight to lose it. Okay? If it took you 15, 20 years, 30 years to get out of shape, don't get frustrated because, I only lost 10 pounds this month. I only lost 15 pounds this month. You've been out of shape for 30 years. You see what I'm saying? Like it's going to take you long. I'm not saying it's going to take you 30 years to get back in shape, but give it a second. Don't stress out so fast about something that when you're not seeing that progress. And you may be better at seeing change or making change in other areas of your life. So you're thinking that, oh, okay, I should be able to do the same thing with my body. But a lot of times you're not. A lot of times your body just has to, it's going to start working when it wants to work. And, that's why you got to keep certain things in mind that are important. And here's what we're going to get into. Okay. So here's what I would recommend for staying in front of your progress and not really focusing too much on the goal itself. Now that we got all the other stuff out the way, that you're never going to be satisfied anyway, and you're never going to really see change, like now let's get to the knit and grit of what you can do and how you should pull this off. Okay. All right. So put your head down and keep your clothes on, and if you can, don't look at your physical appearance so much. If you can help it, don't always, walk past the mirrors and stop and look at yourself or compare yourself or be thinking about everybody else. When you're trying to get to a goal and you're looking at yourself every single day, it's going to stress you out so much because you can't see it. Then you're going to be very critical. You know what I'm saying? And instead of being real critical yourself, if you can just kind of put your head down and go into hibernation and just do the work, you can get there a lot faster. And then when you look up, then you can be like, oh, wow, you know what? I did make progress. And a lot of times you are making progress, but your mind is stopping you because you're stressing yourself out so much. You know what I'm saying? You're always worrying about, oh, I didn't lose 10 pounds this week, or I didn't lose 3 pounds this week. I didn't do this week. And so then you start stressing out, and all that stress is then doing what? Raising your cortisol levels. And now you're gaining weight for another reason. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to chill out. And, if you document your stuff and you know that you're making progress on paper, let's say, for example, you're getting stronger in certain exercises or certain workouts, or let's say your clothes are looking a little bit different, something like that. Your physical appearance, then you'll know, okay, I'm making some progress because my clothes fit better. I'm not an XL no more. Now I'm just a L. I'm just a large. Or I'm not a large no more. I'm just a medium. You see what I'm saying? So you'll know from those things that you're making a progress versus trying to know from, do I look different today? Oh, my abs are getting better. Oh, did I lose some weight? Because that'll trick you. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're coming down, when you losing weight, that'll really trick you, man. Or when you're trying to lose weight, you'll think that after every cardio session you finish doing, you'll swear that you lost 5 pounds. You'll be like, oh, I just finished running, half a mile. Let me go look at myself now and see if I lost 10 pounds yet. It's not. And when you start doing that, you get into a habit of thinking that you need these expectations met so fast. So you got to chill out. So don't play like that. You see what I'm saying? Put your head down and don't worry about making any, progress or tracking it so soon. You got to just chill out and fall back from it. Notice how your clothes fit. Here's another thing. Here's one thing that really worked for me. When I really realized that I look like something, because I follow this naturally. This isn't something that I had to read and find out, like, oh, somebody told me to learn these principles. This is what I do anyway. So, and especially when you're competing, because you kind of got to stay in your own zone. You don't want to get out there too much and always going to the gym with your clothes off and showing off, because then what happens is, you're doing it at critical hours when people are in the gym. So now you want people to stop and talk to you. It slows your day down. You got to wait on machines and stuff like that. So all of that stuff, people want to talk to you. Hey, you looking good? You blah, 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 what you working on? So when you doing stuff like that and having your body out and you're showcasing yourself, you're asking for attention. So try to stay away from the attention. You know what I'm saying? Keep it off yourself for a little while and just, wear your baggy clothes and just, kind of buckle down and focus. But pay attention to the compliments that people give you. This is the biggest thing. This is the one thing that a lot of you guys who are making progress and are worried about if you're making progress or not, this is one thing that you probably haven't realized. If you hear somebody say, you look a little bit different today, or, I see them shoulders popping out, you know what I'm saying? Or they say something like, bro, you work out, or what gym you go to? Or I see, if they start mentioning things like that, like about your physique or saying things like, you must eat clean or you must not eat this because this is such and such. I know you guys have heard something like that. You know what I'm saying? So when you start hearing things like that, you're on the right track. You may not be able to see it, but trust me, you're on the right track because the goal is, like I told you guys last week, for other people to see it. You don't have to look better than everybody else. You got to you don't have to look better than, yourself and all these other higher ups. You just got to look better than the people who are amongst you. So the people who are amongst you, when they start complimenting you, that's a sure way to realize that, okay, I'm making progress. Like something's different because I never get compliments. And now I'm getting, even if they're like low key compliments or somebody's taking a dig at you, like your friends are playing with you, like, boy, big swole with you on steroids or something, those type of things, those are compliments. So take those compliments and run with them and be like, okay, I'm making, like, y'all can see it now. You know what I'm saying? And so now that they've seen it, now it's time to start going harder and putting the pedal to the floor. But those are the ways that you really know that something's happening. If nobody's saying nothing to you and you just, staying yourself and, your peers or, if you go to work and nobody's mentioning nothing and your clothes aren't changing and, and also remember when those clothes sizes, when you lose that weight, you can still start wearing smaller clothes sizes. Or when you're gaining weight, don't try to be that guy that's still wearing those small shirts just to show off like you really got arms or something like that. Like wear your size still. Like, hey, if you was a small, go ahead and get that medium. Don't stay, in a small, but you got medium arms now. Like go ahead and don't look crazy like that. Like just appreciate it and keep on going. You don't have to smack it in people's faces like, okay, I look good, so I'm gonna wear tight shirts now. Like you don't have to be like that. Just wear your regular clothes, but let people notice. That way, what'll happen is you won't get distracted and get the fluff of people, making funny compliments to you, and you can really get the real compliments and know which ones are right. You know what I'm saying? Versus like people playing with you all the time. Oh, you always wearing a tight shirt. Like don't wear the tight shirts. Wear the shirts that are bigger and grow into them jokers. You know what I'm saying? That way, okay, now I'm fitting the XL. Okay, now I'm fitting 2X. You see what I'm saying? Work your way up like that. Here's one thing that I want to say. I don't feel bad for somebody if they're not doing all the right things that it takes to get in shape. I understand, like going back to what I said earlier about, business and life, you have unforeseen circumstances, you have, different things that come up, your background, your ethnicity, your experiences, the access. You can't do all the things that you may want to do. Your mind may limit you into being able to do certain things just because, you were raised a certain way with business and life and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You may not even think certain things are possible. But with your body though, you don't have an excuse. Like that's yours. It's possible. Like you can actually work on this and get in shape and see your results. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like all it takes is the things that it takes, like the dedication, the hard work, the consistency, the not eating crazy, the figuring out what works for you and then sticking to it. Like those are the key principles. So I don't feel bad for nobody who's like, oh, I'm not seeing change, or I wasn't able to get up this morning and I wasn't able to do my fasted cardio. Listen, champ, that's your fault. Like you don't want it bad enough, because if it's easier for you to get out of shape, then okay, we'll just stay out of shape because you don't want it, because you don't want to do the hard work. Whatever your version of hard work is, if that's waking up a little bit earlier, that's your hard work. I've done it. I've seen it. Listen, I've done the 5 a.m. runs and stuff like that. Like I've seen it. I know how it feels, and I did it for years. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even no wake up early in the morning type person. You feel me? So I've seen what it takes, and so I don't feel bad for nobody when it comes down to not getting the body that they want. I personally, not for everybody, because I understand that mentally and stuff like that, you got your own little barriers. But for the most part, though, I feel like your body is a representation of you. You know what I mean? Like your body is a representation of where you're at in your life and where you're at with your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of tells a story. So, keep that in mind. What story do you want your body to tell about you? Do you want to look like, okay, I'm somebody who's not disciplined, somebody who doesn't, work out, somebody who's not consistent with anything? And a lot of times, if you're like that with your body, you like that with your real life stuff. Sometimes you may not be, but sometimes you may be. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so you may be lazy with your body, but you may be, lazy with your outside things, or lazy with your life, or lazy with your business, or lazy with your relationships. You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Like, your body is a representation of, of you, of your character. So, and overall, the goal should just be maintainable quality. Like I was telling y'all before last week, like the goal isn't to look like some superstar athlete, TV character or something like that. Like, you don't got to do all that. But you want to have something that's maintainable, because if you can't maintain it, it doesn't count. Doing P90X and getting in shape for summer because you're getting ready to go on a trip, and then when you get back home, you fell off. That never happened. Go ahead. That never happened. It's all fluff. That don't even count. You know what I'm saying? So don't look at that as something that you can use and recreate, because you can't replicate that process. You can't take that process and be like, okay, I can do this again. I'm gonna get in shape again. I know I can do X, Y, and Z, and I can control it. You can't do that. You did it real quick, got the shape, and then you fell off. And so, that high, low, got in shape, fall off thing, you got to do better. You got to make sure you're doing something that's slow and steady and consistent, that you can maintain for a long period of time, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be 40 years old talking about you trying to reshape your body composition, and now you want to start growing shoulders, and now you want to have a big chest. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Get it while you're young and your body has the testosterone and it wants to actually take on the activity. And while you have that young strength, when you get older, you can get that grown man strength, but that's for bullying people. You don't need that right now. Right now, you got that young man strength, that young muscle. Just put that thing under tension and go make it happen. If you're eating bad right now, stop eating so bad, because you'll blow your lines. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to blow your lines with anything. You want to have that physique. And so once you start getting your waist too big and getting your proportions too far out of shape, it's very hard to get them back down, especially when you're older. You'll see a lot of older people who want to get in shape, and then they'll have that, loose skin, or you got, the extra fluff and stuff like that, or it's just not as pretty as it could have been, because you wasn't on top of it early, or you kept on gaining and losing, and that skin keeps on stretching and contracting, and it can't be that elastic anymore. So be careful with that stuff. So if y'all can control it, stop eating so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Stop being so sloppy. Like, keep it together, all right? And I'm gonna leave y'all on this last note, because I'm right on time for getting up out of here. I heard this from Steve Harvey, and I like this, and I think it's applicable to this context. Trying to be successful is hard, but not trying to be successful is hard too. But at least when you're trying to be successful, there could potentially be a payoff. So you could take your choice. You know what I'm saying? You could go the route of not working out, and living that life. That's going to be hard. You could take the life of working out and going to put some work in and doing all the things you need to do that's necessary to get into your goals. That's hard too. They both hard. It's just, which hard do you want to go with? You see what I'm saying? So if it's going to be both hard at the end of the day, at least one looks like something, and at least this one is the dead end. But if you want to stay in your dead end, that's your business. You feel me? But as long as you know that you're getting some type of results, keep on going and don't slow down. You know what I'm saying? Don't slow down. And one day you could pull your shirt off and say, okay, I made the results. I've been holding on to this body for, 3 to 5 years. Okay, this is it. You know what I'm saying? What they say about, people who are high earners and stuff like that, you got to have been making 6 figures for at least 2-3 years in a row, 5 years. You can't just do it the first year, or you can't, have it and have a good month because y'all was a holiday business or something like that. And now you made 30,000 in December, but now you slow for the rest of the year. You can't do that, right? You got to be able to maintain it and have it go consistently. So keep that in mind about you guys' bodies too. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to get your Kelly Brown's Naturals meal prep containers. I'm selling out. We almost done. And get your ebooks and subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. It's free. Y'all know it's free. And share my videos. If you know anybody who you think this may help, share it with them. And I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Thanks for watching.